It's Saturday, February the 9th, and we're here in the hills of North Georgia. We're going to do a little panning here in Glade Creek in Bartow County. Kind of semi-urban prospecting since there's houses all around, but it's Corps of Engineers managed land, so it is open to panning. Pretty interesting creek. You can see there's lots of quartz. Usually not much water running through here as today, but there has been some lately, so there's been some erosion going on, and that's one reason we're here, to see if some new golds come in. So we're going to get to digging around here and check out the sights and the sounds, and hopefully find a little bit of gold too. So we're going to get to it and be back in a little bit. As we're walking further down, you can see starting to show evidence of old tailings. This is really the first part, or first area where you start to see significant tailings, and from here down it seems to be that the gold's better. You can see there a ditch, probably a hand ditch, was used to gather water and send it down for a sluice box, probably in the 1800s. We're just about to the first spot to start working, so as I start to get into some gold and stuff, we'll take a look at it. I've been panning in here about 25-30 minutes, and gold in every pan. Nothing really huge so far. It's turning out to be a nice day. It's starting to get warm, though the water's pretty cold. You can see we're working along an exposed bank here. There's been some erosion going on, and it's showing some pretty good gold. Even Bob's finding some up there. Just a few minutes ago, as luck would have it, somebody came wandering in here that I knew that didn't know I was going to be here, and I didn't know he was going to be here, and he's actually the one that got me started doing these YouTube videos in the first place. So it's a small world, even when you're 3 hours from home, run into people you know. But across the way you can see some pretty good sized tailing piles, and they're in evidence all along the creek from here down. And there's some pretty good gold in this stretch. Fixing to, as we say, hold this spot in reserve and move on down to another spot where there's some bedrock that was showing better color the last few times. So we'll get back to it, get a little more color in the pan, and maybe I'll get some really good pans and we'll take a look at it. Just got done eating lunch and decided to come down here and work on this a little bit. This is an exposure of bedrock. It's mica schist. It's a quite low grade schist for the area. Doesn't really have any garnets in it to speak of. It does carry good gold though. I've found a few pickers in this bedrock exposure before. I see more of the bank is washed out. I'm going to get to work in here and see what I can pull out. You can see the bank erosion's kind of washed out. Some pretty interesting looking stuff. You can see a black layer in there with some red. You know, if I was inclined to break the rules, I'd get in there and dig some of that out, but I'm not going to do it. But some of that material may have dropped down into this bedrock depression over here, so I'm anxious to get in there and give it a try. Like I said, I've got some really good gold off this bedrock right here before, and judging from the looks around here, other people have too. It's a really nice day. I'd say it's in the upper 40s, maybe even 50 now. Blue sky. What more could you ask for than a day at the creek weather like this? Sometimes it pays to have a little experience at a creek. First pan out of that spot, a nice picker and quite a lot of other gold, so never hurts to know where to look based on where you've done well before. Just goes to show I wasn't just making that up about finding pickers there. So guess what I'm fixing to do? Get right back in there and get the rest of that material out. Well, you know the old saying, I think we might be on to something. Another picker in the second pan. So I think I'll just leave this spot, let somebody else get it. Nah, maybe not. It's looking good, so back to work. Third pan, no pickers this time, but more good gold. I have not busted any bedrock. This is just what's laying in there. So it's looking really good. Don't know what else to say about that. Still plenty of material around here to work. It may just be that one spot that's holding it. We shall see. Still working along this bedrock exposure. Pretty much everywhere I've tried it's been good. Lots of chunky flakes and a couple of pickers. So it's all looking good. I'm gonna keep on working it. I may finish out the day right here. Also see downstream an area where there's a big pile of large rocks and the bank's washed out. That's another potential spot to work on. But for now, I'm content to just work this spot. It's showing pretty good color, so why would I want to leave? It's turned into a nice warm day. The blue Georgia sky, sun shining bright. Got too hot pretty quick and got rid of my coat, so get back to digging in here. Use the shovel a little bit, the sucker a little bit. One to break it up and the other to suck it up, so it's a good 1-2 punch. Still working here in the same general area. So you can see it's still giving me some nice chunky gold. Really rough looking stuff. But that's another pretty good pan. I've had quite a few good ones. No more pictures since the two earlier, but they're still in there. I'll run across them sooner or later. I'm gonna get back at it. Still got plenty of time, but no need in wasting any of it. Decided to give my back a break for a minute. It's really starting to scream at me right now. Nothing wrong with it, just getting tired from being bent over so much. But we'll do a quick explanation of why I'm working right here where I am. As you can probably see, I'm on the inside of a bend. It's kind of hard to see from here because I'm standing right in it, but the creek makes a turn and around this bank it goes, and obviously the water tries to go a straight line, so it comes up over the bank. You can see where the water action has pushed all the roots and stuff this direction and starts eroding this bank and drops all the material out right below. So right down there is a pretty good little spot so far. Lots of nice rough looking chunky gold, just the way I like it. And the weather's just the way I like it, as I mentioned earlier. I think I mentioned it a couple of times already, but the sky's blue. Canada geese are flying over. They think it's spring already. And I don't know if you can see it on here, but that sky's just about as blue as you get in this part of the country. So with that, I'm gonna get back to digging. A few other guys have showed up somewhere upstream. Not sure who it is, but maybe I'll catch up to them in a few minutes on the next break. Right now I got to get the material panned out and see what's in there. Sure did turn out to be a nice day. Still in here digging away, finding gold. Just won't quit down there. So as long as it's not going to quit, I'm not going to quit. It is until time to go. I still got a couple of hours. You see Bryan up there, he's working away, finding some color. You see a tree that's come down probably when the last floodwaters got up. See this gravel bar here, it's bigger every time I come. You can see some of the terrain in here, kind of rolling hills. Really we're kind of at the southern end of the Appalachian range, so we're not really in the mountains, we're kind of down in the foothills. It's nice territory. It's a pretty place, more so in the summertime than in the wintertime when everything's dormant, but it's a nice place anytime. Definitely a colorful place, that is if you like gold. Taking a little bit of a break and checking out the scenery. It feels like it may be mid-50s right now. That's kind of hard to beat in the wintertime. That is unless it's 60s or 70s. But it'll be spring soon enough, and then it'll be 80s and 90s. And then we'll be wishing for days like this. You can see the exposure of bedrock. It does tend to run with the creek, but it has enough amplitude to it that it creates places for gold to fall in, get trapped. And it's been some good gold so far. Back to work. Day's just about done for mining here. We're packing up and getting ready to leave. It's a good day, a productive day for gold. Nice weather. I swear it feels like 70 out here right now. But all good things must come to an end. It's time to make the 3-hour trip back home, and I'm getting a little hungry too. So until the next time, get out and find some gold.